Welcome back. You're listening to The Velocity of Money. Here's your host, Certified Mortgage Planning Specialist, Michael J. Barnes.
Welcome back to The Velocity of Money. You're listening to KFNX 1100, Arizona's news talk leader. And once again, back on the air. Wayne, thanks again for being there for us every week, doing a great job of helping us control and keep things cool and smoke-free in here, and we very much appreciate that. One of the things I mentioned at the beginning of the last segment is this special allotment of funds that we received from one of our mortgage banks. We currently have available 30-year fixed, no prepayment penalty. This is the real deal, just like you're looking for. We do have people at the office right now. If you have questions in regard to that, they can answer them for you. You would call 480-835-6248.
Michael, I have some clients who are buyers that would love that rate. Is that available to buyers as well?
You know, it is. Yeah, that rate is for no cash out refinance, no higher than 80% LTV. You have to have perfect credit to hit this number. But even in some cases, well, with this particular loan, there are some closing costs. We're back talking here with Jerry Leake and Kaylin Roberts. We're talking about the objections, right, of doing short sales. There's another one that you wanted to point out, Jerry?
Yeah, one more objection that people often have when we talk to them about their particular situation is people feel like they have to be behind on their mortgage payment in order for a bank to consider a short sale. And that is not true. The bank analyzes everyone's entire situation. I mean, we have people write a hardship letter. They want to see your financials, and there's an entire situation, not just whether or not you're late on your mortgage payment. Your hardship might be that you're being relocated by your company, and you simply cannot sell your home for what you owe on it due to today's, market conditions. The banks will definitely look at that.
People think that is the key, that you have to be late, but that's not the case in all cases.
Nope, not at all.
So, well, that's really good to know. Very good. So, we talked about the objections, or the pitfalls, rather, or whatever. What about the advantages to doing a short sale?
The biggest advantages to doing a short sale are that it is less impactful on your credit, typically than a short sale, or than a foreclosure, excuse me. And one of the most exciting benefits for a lot of people is that we often can extend the foreclosure and keep you in your house longer. In Arizona, banks have the right to start a foreclosure as soon as you are over 30 days late on one mortgage payment. In today's current economic situation, most banks are not starting that process for 3 to 6 months, but again, that's most banks. They can start after 1 month.
Interesting.
Yes, but once they start the foreclosure process, it's a 90-day process in Arizona. So you'll get a notice that says you have 90 days basically either to come current with the note or to move, and they're taking your house. They're selling it in 90 days. Now, once we start the short sale process, many times we can extend that foreclosure date. I have personally done one that we had the homeowner in almost a year from the date that they stopped making their mortgage payments. It's not uncommon to be 2 or 3 months, though, past the original foreclosure date that they gave you, which of course gives people a lot longer time to decide what they're going to do, especially if it's a family. They're not in such a rush to move. They can keep their kids in the same school district. There's so many reasons that that's a good advantage.
So, Kaylin, truth is that homes that are occupied generally are better off, easier to sell than vacant homes, right?
Absolutely.
And so long as the people are in the house and taking care of the house, if the house looks lived in but not trashed, they would just, as you're saying, the lenders would just as soon leave them in as have it vacant and potentially vandalized.
Absolutely.
Definitely, the lenders prefer somebody to be living in there because they're taking care of the home. Like you just said, when the homes are vacant, there's a high risk of them being vandalized. Unfortunately, the worse the economic situation in the country gets, the higher the vandalism rate on the homes goes. In fact, we were talking with a realtor in our office that takes listings in some of the lower income areas in town, and they're going to stop putting signs on vacant listings because they're getting vandalized so much.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really sad and disheartening, but yeah, I mean, the lenders absolutely want to keep you in your home.
Okay.
You know what it is also is there's a complete different pride of ownership involved. If someone's vacated their home and it's about to foreclose, then they don't have that pride of ownership anymore. They're in denial or different situations that come up. But if they're still living in their home, they're trying to work with the bank to sell the home, they're being proactive in this financial situation they've got themselves into, there's a pride of ownership. They're keeping the home up. They want someone to come in and release them from their debt.
And the lenders, it's the loss mitigation department that you're dealing with, that you're dealing directly with. The two of you are doing the negotiations on the homeowner's behalf.
Oh, yes.
Okay, good. So yeah, and then do you contact the lender immediately when someone calls you? And we're going to talk about when they should call you here in just a minute, but when the homeowner calls you, you immediately contact the lender and find out when the foreclosure date is and try to get that pushed back?
We do as soon as possible. We can check the foreclosure date on tax records if there's one that's been set. There is some paperwork that's involved before we can contact the lender, because the lender will not just speak to anyone on your behalf. They won't. You can get a lawyer, and they won't talk to your lawyer unless they have authorization in writing from you, the homeowner, to speak about their financial situation and their mortgage on their behalf. So we do have some paperwork that we get, and the first thing is the authorization letter. As soon as we have that, we can begin speaking on your behalf.
Very good. So, Kaylin, the next question is, when should someone start the process?
Now. Honestly, if you're listening to us right now and this is striking any sort of nerve, you should be calling us. If you have concerns about being able to afford your home, if you can't sell it, situations like going through a divorce, going through a relocation, like Jerry said earlier, all these situations is, possibly a short sell, and you definitely should be on the phone now, because too many times we see where, people are again in denial or whatever the situation may be, and finally they're 2 weeks before foreclosure date, and then they're calling us. We don't have enough time with just 2 weeks. There's too much involved for us to get the foreclosure extended, get an offer, get all the things that are included when you only give us 2 weeks. And then where a lot of the times they don't even have a place lined up, and if you have a foreclosure on your record, it's a lot harder to get a rental.
Yeah, the foreclosure has significant impact on your credit report, whereas, like you said, the short sales could be potentially much better. Whereas the foreclosure was started, maybe the foreclosure will be started during the short sale process, but not having it completed is better than having an actual foreclosure. Foreclosure proceeding started right is better than not. So.
Absolutely. The foreclosure proceeding started won't necessarily even show on a credit check if a landlord or a management company is pulling your credit to approve you for a rental. But it's the worst thing in the world if you have went through a foreclosure and you're just now calling us. I have some clients who need to be in a home this weekend, and they have a foreclosure. They didn't, they contacted me right after the foreclosure was finished. And you would think that people would understand that there's a lot more foreclosures going on, and that wouldn't be as harsh on your credit, but it's really not. We're having a very difficult time finding landlords that will accept people that have foreclosure on their credit.
Well, me as a landlord, I have my wife and I have several rentals, and if I were to look at a credit report and I see that foreclosure proceeding had been started, but the client, the homeowner, the potential renter says, well, we started it, but we were able to sell the house short, so we didn't have to go through the foreclosure. That absolutely would be someone that I would consider over someone that had a foreclosure as well, because it shows that they care. They certainly tried their very best. So I think that's a good, a great situation to be in. So 2 weeks left before your sale date. It's too late. It's not going to work out.
Well, I have recently done one in 10 days.
Oh boy!
So it can be done. I had 10 days before the foreclosure date, and I got the bank to put the foreclosure date back about a month and a half, and we will close a short sale on that.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So there's light.
90% of the time, though, we won't be able to help you with that little of time.
You don't want to be jumping through the hoops if you don't have to.
Well, the hardest part about the process is the beginning process, getting the lender to even acknowledge that they have received the authorization letter or the information packet that we've sent, the financials and the offer. You have to understand lenders have thousands of short sales and foreclosures going on, and they might have 20 bulk fax machines in their office, and as the paperwork comes through, if it's not that person's paper, they might throw it in the trash. That's the hardest part, and that process alone can take 30 days before they even tell us that they got what they need.
Well, when people call me up from the show, asking about more information on the loan modification, I specifically had client called in today. The reality of it was he wanted a loan modification, but he needed a short sale. And sometimes that's the case, but that's what we're here to do, is to make sure you have the right information. So Jerry, real quick, why don't you give the phone number where they can reach you or Kaylin?
You can reach me at 480-363-6752.
And the other number to call will be 480-VELOCITY, and we'll be back with you in just a few moments.